Yo, what's up guys? Bill here, Classic Rock and Metal Review. Time for a little monthly haul action. This will be covering the second half of January and all of February. 13 titles. Yeah, I've been trying to get it a little under control. Believe me, there's plenty of things up on those shelves there I haven't heard yet from past monthly hauls. There's been some monthly hauls where it's been 30 or 40 items, so I'm trying to tone it down a little bit. And still got 13 things to show you, and I think 3 of them reacquisitions for me. Used to have them on cassette years ago, and 10 completely new to me items. So let's get started. I do like doing them in chronological order for some stupid reason. No different this month. Talking 1968 through 1987 with these 13 titles. We'll also take a look at about 4 or 5 things I've been listening to in the last few weeks. These are all commercially available titles, guys. No bootlegs today. That is a whole separate episode. Subscribers already know that. We cover bootlegs, new releases in a different episode, and then show you what I picked up bootleg-wise at the end of it. So this is all commercially available stuff. So let's start out with 1968. You know, it's about time I finally heard other than the title track, and I haven't heard it yet, but Iron Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. So this would be one of the bargain bin things I got this month. Couple bucks. Should be an interesting listen. The only thing, like I said, I've ever heard is the title track from these guys. So let's get some psych rock going on from 68. Up to 1970 for probably his most popular album, Cat Stevens, T for the Tillerman. Got some mega hits on there, Wild World, Father and Son, which is awesome. I love that song. Couple other maybe deeper cuts. Where Did the Children Play? You know, hit, but not as big a hit. Hard-Headed Woman, I think, is a popular one from Cat also. So looking forward to this one. I might have another one of his albums back there, but I had Greatest Hits was one of my first CDs I ever had in the late 80s. So always cool to get some more Cat. Someone I didn't realize has been around so long. 1970 on that one. I would have thought that was more closer to mid 70s, but now I passed up on the super deluxe edition of this in December. I just needed the $80 more for Christmas and those annoying other people you got to buy for. So passed up on my deluxe edition that I ordered and canceled, but I did make sure to grab myself a copy of the regular CD since I don't even own it yet. And we got some Thin Lizzy, Always Deliver, Vagabonds of the Western World. I've heard this one once. Really good, you know, man. I mean, these guys really don't do anything wrong. And, you know, I thought it was going to be a little folkier based on what I've got on the Rock Legends box set. Some folky stuff mixed in with the rock back in this era. I think it's 1972. But only 1 or 2 of those kind of songs. Pretty rockin' stuff here. Good one I need to get back to. Maybe I'll drive around with that one today a little bit. All right, on up to 1975. Actually got 3 titles from 75. Start with a vinyl pickup. Robin Trower for Earth Below. His follow-up to Bridge of Sighs, 1975. And picked this up at a consignment store near me. I think $6, and it's in great shape. I even got some shrink wrap, pretty intact all the way around. And just coming undone at the end there, but great shape. And I haven't heard this one yet, man. I really need to get into some more Robin Trower besides the only album I've ever owned from him, Bridge of Sighs. So if any of you guys know what's up with this, give me a little heads up with it. Sticking with 75, here's an album a lot of people probably have. I've never heard it before until now, other than a couple of the songs that are on Greatest Hits. Jefferson Starship, Red Octopus. One of their most, if not most popular album. You got, like I said, a few different hits on there. Play on Love's a good one. And Miracles is on here. I feel like there was another one. I guess Fast Buck Freddy's on some compilations too. But solid all the way around album. Of course, you got the new modern sound. But still, quite a few songs. I was a little surprised. Quite a few songs on here do remind me of Jefferson Airplane still. Just a little updated sound. But at heart, those songs still very Airplane-like. I'm surprised this far along that that's still the case. But seemed to be for me off of one listen. And really, really like this a lot. This would be up there as one of my favorite new to me releases for 2024 so far. And sticking with 75, this is actually a reacquisition. Man, I remember exactly where I was when I got this on tape. when my best friend Rick moved out to Ohio. Him and me were doing a lot of trips, late 80s, back and forth, Philly to Ohio and the other way around. And one of the times we went out together, sometimes we'd be in separate cars. In this case, driving together. Driving back, stopped at one of those like truck stop kind of stops. They had a bargain bin, so I was even bargain binning it back then. Picked up Earth, Wind and Fire's That's the Way of the World. I think the only thing I had at this point was just a Best of Volume 1. So I never really got into it. I probably only played that cassette 2 or 3 times in the 25 years I owned it. And that was kind of a mistake, because I can tell you this thing got 2 or 3 plays in my car within a week or so. It's a great album, really solid all the way through. Maybe one song's just okay, but man, there's 8 songs here, 7 of them really solid. Another one that would be up there among the best that I've picked up, new to me album so far for 2024. Moving on to 77. Now I already had this on vinyl back there. So a nice CD copy of Dan Fogelberg, Netherlands. Really consistent solo artist, and nothing different here. Another really good album from him. I'll tell you, the first half of this thing starts out just incredible. First 4 or 5 songs are just excellent. Does start to tail off in terms of quality. Second half of the album. 1 or 2 good ones, but a couple just okays. Overall, really good album, and good to have it on CD at the nice price. Okay, moving to 1979. Solo album. Well, it's Neil Young and Crazy Horse, so not really solo. And what a solid album, man. This is one that I used to wear out on cassette. And pretty much this is almost like a greatest hits to me. I really love Live Rust. A lot of the songs ended up on that live album from the same year. And I still have, that's one of the vinyls that survived, actually. My Live Rust double album from back in the 80s. So good pick up there. This is a reacquisition. Good to have more Neil. What's next? 1981. Now, coming up next will be a review for an album I just got a couple months ago. Tom Johnston of the Doobie Brothers, first solo album. Everything You've Heard Is True. We'll get to that review next. So I was so into that, went to get me a copy of his second solo album. So 1981. I haven't popped this one open yet. Still feels good. A little more of rockin', sort of mid-tempo rock, Tom Johnston style. I think, that first album got a lot of criticism being too funky and disco-y and stuff like that. So it sounds almost like Tom heard those criticisms and went for a more mainstream sort of what people were used to with him with the Doobies type of album. Did pretty good with this one, man. Sealed for $10 off eBay, I believe. So from 1981, some more Tom Johnston. Also from 81. I have the first album, I think it's Boy, from 1980. So I was glad to get back October, which I think's a better album. Kept running into Boy. 3-4 times I'm running into Boy. It's like finally a bargain bin version of October. It was only $2 or $3, I think. And I think this is the better of those two. The early albums, I call those two. Was never really sure which one was first. Pretty sure Boy came first. But October, a good one from 1981 by U2. On to 1983. Now here was a surprise. Another Lounge Dweller request. That dude has been spot on so far. You're 4 for 4. Recommended Snowy White solo album. Love Snowy White, In Lizzy, Roger Waters, Floyd. But man, really throws you a monkey wrench with this one. This is a very progressive album. I don't want to say jazzy, but definitely a fusion kind of rock, and a majority of the albums like that, not just like a few songs. If you're into that sort of fusion, the Tommy Bolin stuff on Teaser, that was kind of fusion-like, you'll love this album. Really good one here, like I said, 1983. Snowy White, White Flames is the name of this one. So I only heard it once. Really interesting album. Just such an interesting listen, man. I can't see anyone ever getting tired of that thing. It's all over the place, A lot going on and a lot of greatness going on. And also from 83. Now, I picked this up for a few bucks. I used to have this, years ago. And I actually got rid of it because I didn't really enjoy it, other than the hits. Billy Idol's Rebel Yell, second solo album. So I'm going to give it another chance. Sometimes when I'm like poking my head into those lists of CDs for sale on eBay, and I'm after 2 or 3, I'll throw a couple in there you know, just for an extra $1 or $2. The shipping's only like 50 more cents or something. So let's give Rebel Yell another try. I think I ended up burning just 3 or 4 songs into iTunes, but I'm going to give the whole record another shot. Billy Idol from '83. Now on to the last one, actually. Now, I had disc 2 of this, 2 CD collection. Jefferson Airplane, 2400 Fulton Street. A few years ago, I ordered off eBay. They didn't say it was just one CD or the other. It just said 2400 Fulton Street. It was $2. I ordered it. It was just disc 2. And I really enjoyed that one. Had those double cassettes back in '87 when they first came out. So this is finally getting disc 1. So a little ass backwards. I got disc 2 first. Came across this one. Now the one thing about them though, you know, there's a reason they're called 2400 Fulton Street, the CD collection, because they're not exactly the same as the cassettes. They have bonus tracks, and on disc 2, I really liked the bonus tracks. Levi Strauss jeans commercials, they were kind of cool. And a couple other songs that seemed to fit right in with the rest of that material. The bonus tracks on here, because I listened to this once, I don't know if they really fit too well. I know one of the songs is like 7.5 minutes. Amongst a bunch of other 3-minute songs, broke the flow down a little. I guess I'm just so used to those tapes, even though it's been forever since I've listened to them. I really just used to love those tapes. Whoever put this compilation together really knew what they were doing. Made sure to get all the hits and popular things, and the deep cuts they put on these things, just excellent, you know. And I don't really have a whole lot from their entire catalog, 3 or 4 albums, but they really chose some great songs, best I can tell. So I have to give this another listen, try to get into these bonus tracks that are kind of breaking up the flow that I remembered this thing used to be. Perfect, and now we got a couple of really long jams on there that just don't quite do it for me, because they, like I said, sort of break up what was a really easy listen before. And some things I've just been listening to. I ordered a bootleg from the Mirrors tour from Blue Oyster Cult, so hopefully that'll be coming in a few days. But in the meantime, threw on the album Mirrors. Wow, this album is so friggin' good. You know, this is something I probably only listened to once. Got the Blue Oyster Cult album collection a few years ago. Went through the whole thing, played the whole thing. But I really only have owned a couple of their albums through the years to where I knew much more than that entire collection. Fire of Unknown Origin, ETI, or ETL. Mirrors was something that was new to me when I got that album collection a few years ago. So I'd only played it like once. And man, it's great. What a solid album. Looking forward to that bootleg. I think it's Chicago 79. So got into one of the Allman Brothers Instant Lives that I got. This one, I went for the newest one first from the last tour in 2014. This one being March 8th, triple CD. I've heard 2 of the discs so far. Great stuff there. Instant Live, Beacon Theater, Allman Brothers. And got into If I Could Only Remember My Name, David Crosby debut solo album. I think we're from 1971 here. Didn't realize you have Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young players on here. Neil's on at least one song that I can tell, maybe 2. Sounds like Graham Nash singing on there also, as far as I recall. This one was a few weeks ago, but good album. And gave another listen to Eddie Money, Life for the Taking. This is a solid album. I think we're 78 with this one. Good album from Eddie Money. Used to play Gimme Some Water in our band, so cool hearing that. And gave, I think, 5 listens to this altogether, Sabotage Power of the Night, which was our Love You Long Time and a thumbs up for sure. Great classic metal. One of the best heavy metal albums of all time, in my opinion. I think you'll love it. I'll try to remember to leave a link to the Love You Long Time episode, but it was only a few days ago. Just check it out yourself. Guys, that's going to do it for now. Next up will be that Tom Johnston review for his 1979 debut solo album. After that, I think we're up to bootleg update time. See what's new out of Japan. And show you my latest 4 titles that I've gotten since we last talked about bootlegs. All right, guys, that'll do it for now. Catch y'all later. Everyone have a great friggin' day.